Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Samantha Rizundu. Today we are doing some fragrance selections. We're going to be talking about green and aquatic fragrances. Not necessarily merged together, but I've kind of merged two categories together. So we have a little selection of, generally it's a lot of freshness, and for me there are different kinds of fresh. There's like your kind of fruity, there's your floral, but we're not going to be doing those today. We're going to be going in with the green and the aquatic. So some of these lean a little masculine, some of these lean feminine, some of these lean unisex. I don't think I'm going to have any particular order. I think I'm just going to pick whatever's in front of me. Maybe we will do our aquatic versus our green. I also have a few that I don't own but I know very well that I'm going to suggest in pictures. But generally I like to recommend what I own because I wear it thoroughly, but I do work in a perfume store, so I also have a lot of experience wearing perfumes that I don't necessarily own. Okay, so we're going to start with our aquatic / marine / water fragrances, whatever you're more comfortable with. We're going to start with the DS & Durga Rose Atlantic. I love this one. This is so underrated. I think I need to do a video of my most underrated perfumes by like really popular brands. Like with DS & Durga, I don't know what is really popular. There are certain ones that are really popular. But Rose Atlantic is fantastic if you love aquatic fragrances. So the top notes are rose petal, lemon, and bergamot. And then our middle notes are rose, salt, lime, linden blossom, grass. So this is also green as well. And then our base notes are seawater, musk, and oak moss. So for me, this is a twist on rose. If you're not someone that likes roses, I think you'll still like this because rose isn't necessarily my favorite floral. I think for me, it's very much depends on the fragrance. So when you read Rose Atlantic, you think this is going to be heavy rose. But for me, it's heavy on the salt aquatic. So I get a real saltiness to this. I get that hint of lime. I definitely smell the rose, but it's just not how you would smell a rose. It is it's got a zestiness without it being a citrus fragrance. To me, it's very much the seawater, the saltiness with the rose and the lime. That is what I smell. It's a very interesting fragrance. I just really smell like I'm at the ocean. It's got a fresh quality to it. I also want to note I have run out of fragrance blotters. I need to buy some. So I'm just using paper today. So please excuse me. I know it's not professional. It's kind of, it smells delicious, but not a gourmand. It's rich. It's rich in scent, and I absolutely love Rose Atlantic. So the next fragrance we have is from Maison Margiela Replica. This is Sailing Day. Now this one I actually don't like on my skin, but I love the smell of it on other people and on paper. It just does not blend well with my skin chemistry, but I can still appreciate this fragrance. So I think this one I will be giving to my husband. I had it on my side, but I think I'm going to give it to my husband and see if he likes it. And if he doesn't like it, I will pass it on to a friend that I know will like it. But for today's video, I do have it to show you. Here we have top notes of sea, aldehydes, coriander, and red pepper. We have middle notes of juniper, iris, amyl salicylate, rose, and then base notes of seaweed, ambergris, cedar, and amberwood. So this is the perfect fragrance for someone who likes extremely fresh and light. This is not got an intensity to it. This to me is a perfect unisex. It doesn't lean masculine or feminine. And see, when I smell this on the paper versus my skin, it goes very soapy, and I hate to say the word, but it smells a little toilety on me. But it smells so nice on the paper. It's just a completely different fragrance on my skin, which is such a shame because I really, really appreciate this fragrance. What do I smell? I really do smell the sea and the aldehyde. I really do smell a bit of slight floral. And I think that's where it goes wrong on my skin. My skin really suits fruity, woody, intense notes. When I say fruity, I do mean intense. I suit that really concentrated kind of scent. These kind of, I don't want to say soapy, but to me it leans soapy on me. They don't suit me. So I mainly do smell the ocean. Like, they have hit the nail on the head there, but to me it's very neutral. It doesn't smell salty. Like the Rose Atlantic smells salty. This doesn't smell salty. The iris, the coriander, it's very, very light and very neutral. So definitely one to go and check out. But it's definitely for people who like super neutral light fragrances, but still nonetheless very much aquatic. Next we have a fragrance that I blind bought. Oh my god, my husband's smashing this one. I ended up giving it to my husband because it swung a little masculine, but I still love it. I would definitely wear this. It's just, my husband really likes it though. I'm noticing now he's used almost all of it. So I bought this on sale at Sephora in Australia. This is Bon Parfumeur. And this is the 801, which is sea spray, cedar, grapefruit. And it's very much that. So we have top notes of ivy, that's my daughter's name, grapefruit, citron, and Italian mandarin, middle notes of sea notes, rosemary, nutmeg, pink pepper, and base notes of cypress, white musk, and cedar. So you can see why I blind bought this, because the notes just sound green, citrusy, and aquatic, and I love that. When I love fresh, I do love a very unisex kind of fresh, like this marine, citrusy quality. Like, I would still wear this, but obviously my husband loves this, so I just decided to give it to him. And it is very fresh, very, very wearable. To me, I definitely smell the sea notes. I definitely get that little bit of musk. It's slight though. It's not, I wouldn't classify this a musky fragrance, but I'm getting a little bit of that. I'm getting that little bit of green and that little bit of citrus, but to me, it is an aquatic first and then green and citrus as secondary. Absolutely beautiful. Next we have Concrete Rain from All Saints. I've got I think it's 15 ml, and this one is super light. I think we'll find a common theme here with aquatic fragrances is that they tend to be on the lighter side, but that is beautiful. That's what we want. We want that light, watery freshness. Don't have that intensity in an aquatic fragrance. So this, I wouldn't say has the best longevity. Some are more than others depending on the notes. Like Rose Atlantic I think has pretty good longevity, but I wouldn't say this does. But this is, you know, perfect for a little handbag for little top-ups. Like I said, we can't expect aquatic to be lasting like an oud, but this has still got that super neutral. It's almost like in the Clean Girl range, you know, like it's just a really nice clean fragrance, clean smelling fragrance. So we have top notes of rain and lily. And in terms of white floral, I do like lily. It's got a light freshness. It's not heavy or too powdery. We have middle notes of orchid and orris, and then base notes of cottonwood or poplar, musk, and cashmere wood. It is hard to distinguish the notes with this one. I do struggle to identify the notes, but I do definitely get that rain top note. And as that common theme of a base note is musk, and I think that is because it gives it something to hold on to without it being too heavy. It's really nice. I wouldn't say this is my favorite fragrance. I was actually super excited to smell this because of the idea of concrete and rain, because I actually quite like Concrete by Comme des Garçons. I think people love it or hate it. I quite like it. I think it's quite unique. So I was very intrigued to smell the Concrete Rain. I can't say it's a favorite, but same with the Sailing Day. They don't smell the same, but it's just that really neutral, clean fragrance that is kind of, it's like a fragrance that's not a fragrance. If you're not into fragrance, that's what I would recommend. Lastly, I am recommending the Maison Margiela, again, replica range. This is Beach Walk. So this is the salty aquatic like the Rose Atlantics. They don't smell the same, but you've got your water aquatic and then you've got your salt water aquatic. They are quite different in my opinion. So this one I would say is different from the others because it's got a warm summery vibe to it. Like the other ones I would say are a lot more cooler in their scent, and this is a lot warmer. So with the Beach Walk we have, it's described as sun-kissed salty skin. Totally agree. If you're Australian, you're going to smell this and it's going to smell like your childhood. It's got the smell of sunscreen, salty skin, water. It's very solar. It's got the coconut milk, which has got that sunscreen vibe to it. It's beautiful. I love it. So we've got top notes of bergamot, lemon and pink pepper, middle notes of ylang ylang, coconut milk and heliotrope, and then base notes of, once again, musk, benzoin and cedar. So this one I feel like has a little bit more depth than the other ones. I just love this fragrance. I think for me, I prefer the salty aquatic in fragrance over as opposed to the clean, cooler fragrances. So for me, I really smell, I'm definitely getting the pink pepper. Oh, it's so nice. It's a hard one to describe, but it's like, you know how when you smell a replica fragrance, if you have smelt one, it literally transports you to that memory of beach walk. Like this to me smells like I'm going for a walk on the beach. It's even got that floral aspect. Like if I'm in Sydney, so if I go down to the south coast, you've got the bush on the water. That's what that reminds me of. It's the equivalent of like the Mediterranean has the flower bushes on the hilltop overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. Similar to that, but the Australian version is the south coast of New South Wales. It's got that vibe, and I really smell the floral in this. So the ylang ylang and the heliotrope, I really smell that. I don't smell a lot of citrus, but I think that is just to kind of give it that zest of summer. But for me, the middle notes really come through with the musk. And this is one that I think is a little muskier than the average aquatic fragrance. And that's why I do think this leans a little feminine, in my opinion. But absolutely, I can see a man wearing this. It's just such a summery, fresh fragrance. If you're someone that maybe, if you don't like Sailing Day, you would like Beach Walk, or you might like both. To me, I'm very much more a beach walk kind of gal because I do love that little bit touch of deliciousness. And I do love a warm fragrance. That is my preference. So they are the aquatic fragrances that I have chosen. And now we're going to go on to the green fragrances. So the green fragrances, I tried to not do citrus. So for me, green is that herbal, grassy kind of fragrance. So I'm trying, like there might be notes of citrus, but I'm not going into the citrus world. First green fragrance is my favorite green fragrance of all time, Debasa from Dias and Durga. This, for me, every time I smell it, I get warm inside and I get giddy and it makes me excited. When I recommend this to people and they don't like it, I get personally offended. Not to their face, but internally I'm like, but that's so good. How could you not like this? But not everyone likes green fragrance, and that's just a reality I have to get to terms with. So this is the top notes of stems, greens, bergamot, and pear. It's so good. The middle notes are fig, coconut milk, and iris. And then our base notes are precious woods, tonka bean, and moss. So the main green here is the moss and the stems green, so in the top and the base notes. To me, this smells very green, but it's got that coconut milk to make it creamy and a little bit delicious. And the fig it's so full-bodied, this fragrance. And this is where, like, Debasa is one of those brands that I ride or die for, or I cannot stand. So they have some fragrances where I'm just like, give it to me. And then another one is probably Debasa and I don't know what can get it. They are 10 out of 10s in my opinion. 10 out of 10s. We're not talking about I don't know what today though, because that's not in the category, but oh gosh, it's so good. It is so good. These little pieces of paper are not working. I need to go buy blotters. Okay, so for me, I definitely get the moss and the stem greens. I definitely get the coconut milk and the fig. I don't really smell tonka bean, if I'm honest. But that is a base note, so that's probably not going to show up on here. But I love the way that this sits on the skin. You've got that instant freshness, and then it goes kind of milky and deeper on the skin throughout the day. Absolutely love it. I only have a tiny bit, so I actually need to buy a full size because I cannot live without that fragrance. That is a staple, an absolute staple. Okay, next, I don't have a lot of full sizes left. I've got like little ones. The next one is from Who is Elijah, and this is O. This looks like I've never used it because I haven't. I just got this last week, but I had the little tester, and then I've got the 10 ml. So Who is Elijah is an Australian brand, but they are diversifying outside of Australia. They are not on Fragrantica. I can never say that word. So, soz if I pronounced it wrong. It was so funny. I was actually in David Jones today, which is a department store in Australia. And they have Who is Elijah in store. It's also at Priceline now, and it's on Adore Beauty. I originally bought the Discovery set on Adore Beauty, and then I got this one at Priceline. So they come in 2 ml, 10 ml, 50 ml, 100 ml. The 100 ml is $180, which is pretty good. So it was funny because I was in store with my friend today and we both love fragrance, but she is a little bit more spicy than I am, and she doesn't really like green fragrances. I love green fragrances, so she doesn't like this, but I love it. Okay, so O is a radiant and sexy scent that perfectly blends notes of pear stems, green leaves, and bergamot on the top. It is the same as this. If anything, I think it is copying Debaser. That's my opinion. Because look at these notes. Oh my God, it's literally the same. Oh my God, it's the same. Their middle notes are black fig, coconut milk, Italian iris, and their base notes in the middle, and wood, tonka, musk, and moss at the bottom. It is a freaking dupe. This fragrance has no gender nor boundaries. You know what? I'm not surprised because their Morning After I thought was like Morning Chest from Wilhelm. And their Nomad is a known dupe for the Baccarat Rouge 540. So I think we have, let me smell it. It's so funny. No wonder this was my favorite because I love Debaser. It's literally the same notes. Okay, it is a little different. I still think Debaser is better. To me, this smells a little bit more tropical. I feel like they've gone a little heavier on the fig and coconut milk. Interesting. Okay, so there we go. You want a more affordable, this is very expensive. You want a more affordable version, O, but honestly, Debaser is still better. It's still better. And if you're someone that's happy to spend that little bit more to get the perfect, I would go Debaser. But if you have the chance to smell both, I would love your opinion. Next, I have a little 1 or 2 ml. This is tiny. It's even smaller than a 2 ml. This is the Aroma Eau de Parfum by Costa Brazil. Now, Costa Brazil, they do body and face oils from the Amazon. Their ingredients are sustainably sourced from the Amazon. So this is the epitome of a green fragrance. So let me find it. The bottle, I really want this fragrance. The bottle is so stunning. I'm actually putting it on. So we have top notes of white flowers, Brazil orange and pink pepper and grapefruit. And then we have middle notes of clear wood, myrrh, nutmeg, bourbon, geranium. Base notes of cypriol oil or nargomotha, vetiver, atlas cedar, amber, patchouli, and musk. This is a special fragrance. So this is a woody fragrance for women and men, I agree. This is a new fragrance. Aroma was launched in 2022, top notes, blah, 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 blah. Inspired by Brew, a natural resin that grows in the Amazon and is revered for benefits, peace of mind, focus, balance. A blend of fresh earth, spicy woods, flowers, and crushed leaves, and ingredients that are known to encompass stress-reducing phytoncides, it reminds one of waking up in the jungle at dawn. Aroma's packaging is made from sustainably sourced white ash in a red oak finish, a simple and discreet sliding mechanism at the base of the custom designed box that makes it easy to refill. This is a special fragrance. Very much unisex. I would say if you like feminine, you're not going to like this. So we've got that woody, earthy, amber aromatic. So this actually isn't considered green, but I consider it green. The way that I smell it, it smells green to me. But reading the notes, it's actually not typically a green fragrance, which is fascinating to me because it's inspired by the Amazon. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, the next fragrance that I have is the Eccentric 05 from Eccentric Molecules. This is just another little, I got the little discovery set. I am one of those people, I like to buy a little discovery set. So this is Eccentric 05. This is my favorite from Eccentric Molecules. And this has wonderful notes in it. This is really cool. So we've got top notes of juniper, bergamot, rosemary, orange, laurels, fig leaf, basil, and fig. Then we have middle notes of cypress, hedione, iris, freesia, jasmine, and base notes of iso e super, which they patent, cashmerian, ambroxan, musk, mastic or lentisk, and labdanum. This is zesty. It is got that beautiful freshness that a green fragrance gives, but it's still got that lift of the bergamot and the orange. It's very green, but zesty at the same time. And then the Iso E Super just gives this really good longevity. And for me, I like Iso E Super, but I like it with other notes. That's why I prefer, I don't know what, to Molecule 1. Molecule 1 is the original fragrance that is just Iso E Super, which develops to your skin chemistry, and it's different for everyone. It doesn't swing that great on my skin, but once it's added with other notes, I do like Iso E Super. I actually love it. I love the way it enhances other fragrances. So I prefer Eccentric 1 over Molecule 1. I think it works better on my skin. But Molecule 1 is their bestseller. Well, Eccentric 5 is my favorite of the whole range. I love their M+ range as well. So this one is your typical green, but fresh and uplifting and zestiness, which is what I was saying before. There's going to be some fragrances that are green, but they have that citrus notes in it because it does lift up the green. So I absolutely love this. This I recommend for maybe a man who wants something really fresh, or a woman who is open to green zesty fragrances. I feel like green fragrances aren't for everyone, but I also think there is going to be a rise in green fragrances, and I am here for it because I love green. I love aquatic, and I think they marry well together in aquatic and green. They do really well with layering in fragrances. I just think if you love fresh, there is so much more to fresh than floral and citrus. And I hope this video kind of gave you some insight to that and gave you some inspiration to go sniffing around at your closest perfume store. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below if you smelt any of these, if there's any that you're interested to try out. And if you are a green or an aquatic fragrance fan like I am. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!